In this video here, we're going to actually be going over setting up the Facebook Conversions API. And when we are setting up the Facebook Conversions API, we actually want to go first to our Events Manager. And once we are in our Events Manager, we'll actually want to go to one of our ad accounts. So I'm going to use an ad account that I don't use whatsoever. But the Facebook API conversions allows you to get better tracking when it comes to actually being able to get more data for what you want. So there have been some recent changes with Facebook itself. So this is mostly for app promotion, but of course I don't have an app. I had an app at one point that I created, but I don't have one anymore. But what we want to do when we are actually setting up our Facebook API conversion is go to a pixel itself. So when we do want to create a pixel, all we would do is create pixel. But I have 100 pixels, so I can't really create any more. I'm going to go to an account where I believe I actually do have one. And excuse my dog, he always barks. Literally is never quiet for one day of his entire life. But as we can see here, setting up the Conversions API can lower the cost by 13%. So the Conversion API actually allows us to get better conversions and better tracking when it comes to people coming to our website, as well as when it comes to people actually being able to get the data from them. So what we essentially want to do is we always want to make sure we have our domain connected and our domain is verified. So in the first video, I did talk about that. So what I want to do here is I can see I have aifunnelsmarketing.com attached there. And essentially what I want to do here is actually, let's connect this domain here. So I'm going to go to my domain section. And now that I've gone to my domains, I actually want to add in my domain here. So I'm going to go aifunnelsmarketing.com. And then once I am loading up my domain, and I'll show you here, we're just going to authorize this real quick with Cloudflare. And Cloudflare is just a place I bought my domain name, FYI. So nothing too special. And then I want to authorize this. And so while this is authorizing, what we want to do now is actually set up the pixel itself. So setting up the pixel is fairly easy. You can do it from this screen or you can do it from your business manager account. I'm just going to use this screen. So we're going to use a couple things here. The things we are going to use are, so we have a few things that we can set up. So when we are going through these, we have the web, we have the CRM, and we have the messaging, which is actually new. So I'm going to set up the web first. And then we're going to name this Conversions API, as well as AI funnels marketing. Now we want to go create this. So we're going to let this load up here real quick. And I'm going to see if this, okay, perfect. This domain has been attached. So what I want to do here is I'm just going to add this to, I'm just going to add it to this domain, or I'm just going to add it to this funnel here. And then of course you'll need a 404 error page. So, but we're not going to really worry about that. So now we have added this and we want to make sure the www is added as well. And this goes for if you are using Go High Level or if you are not. Okay, and then I keep picking the wrong one. Okay, cool. So now these are both facing towards there. And I just want to test it out and make sure that it is facing towards there. Perfect. So this is facing towards there now. Awesome. So now what I want to do is I actually want to go back, and I'm going to go back and enter actually my domain. So https / AI funnels marketing.com. And then I want to check this. And then you can see here the meta and conversions API. So I want to pick that and I want to go next. And then what we're going to do is we're actually going to set it up manually. So there are other options as well for setting it up not manually, but in this case, we just want to set it up manually. So when I go through these, I like the segment. It's pretty good. Of course, if you have Shopify, use that. Google Tag Manager, I use that as well. WordPress use, I've never used Zapier. Stape kind of just gets expensive, and I've never used the rest of these, but this one's really expensive, so you don't want to use that. So we're actually just going to set this up manually. Okay. So let's try this again. So set up the API conversion, set up manually, and perfect. So now that we have set up manually, what we want to do is actually pick what events are going to happen. So this might not be the best use case actually, just because I think mine's set up as an app right now. So what we're going to do is jump into another account actually. So I'm going to jump into this account. And I don't know if I even have any available. We'll see. Okay, perfect. I do have some available. So again, we're just going to jump in here. We're going to say AI funnels marketing.com. I'm going to go create. And the pixel, FYI, it is called the dataset now. They did get moved. I'm just kind of used to calling it the pixel. So hopefully no one's like, oh my gosh, that's not a pixel. So let's do it yourself. And now we're back to where we were before. And we're going to set this up manually. So when we are setting this up manually, we'll always want to make sure we have a pixel. But here's the things you're going to start to see as well, kind of like we saw earlier. So I actually want to go back here first off, and I want to connect my pixel. So we also want to make sure that we are sharing it with an ad account. So that's an important thing that you have to do. So a lot of people do forget to do that. So let's share this with an ad account. And I believe I named this AI Funnels Marketing. And then all we got to do is type in AI Funnels Marketing. And then we want to connect the asset to this. So in our case, we'll just connect our was this it? Blake Weissman's. Yeah, it's fine. We'll connect this ad account here. And then we can actually go back to our events manager of where we we're just at. So now that this is connected to the ad account itself, we actually want to scroll down. Always turn this on. Always turn this on. And then we want to create an allow list. So aifunnelsmarketing.com. We're going to press next, and then 0 estimated event traffic to be blocked. Love to see that. And now all we have to do is just close this. So after we have done that, what I actually want to go do is grab the pixel itself. So when we are grabbing the pixel, we just want to install this manually, and we want to grab the base code. And then the next thing I actually want to go do here is actually start to apply this to one of my funnels or websites. So I believe we did attach it to this one. We did. Okay, perfect. So when we are attaching it, what we want to go do is actually just copy and paste it right on the tracking head. So when it is copy and pasted on the tracking head itself, it's actually going to be able to track everything within all 3 of these pages. Same thing goes with a website when you do put that there. And now we want to actually go back to the events manager where we were just at. And we want to start to figure out, always turn this on by the way, but we want to start to figure out what events are going to be associated with our, we want to figure out what events are associated with whatever is happening on our funnel or our website. And there's 2 ways of doing this. So you can use the event setup tool to add standard events and parameters without the need to code. This is the easiest to install the pixel. But what I have found personally myself is if you do this and somebody does have ad blockers on, it can help prevent some tracking. So I generally like to actually just do the code manually, and I'll show you actually how to do this. So once we are doing the code manually, we can go to the standard events and then the full list of standard events. And then we can start to figure out exactly what we do need for this. So we can see purchase, we can see the content IDs, as well as the currency and any other things that we may need. And we can also look at different variables. So what I want to do is actually go over here. And then I want to actually start to create this. So this is a little bit more in depth of a way of actually creating this. So let's actually do this because this is just the easiest route of doing it. We're going to type in Facebook Advanced Pixel Generator. And now that we have the Facebook Advanced generator, we actually want to do a few things here. So what I want to do here is actually generate the code that we are going to use. And the code we can actually use is, we can use purchase. And let's actually type in Facebook Pixel Generator for purchase for variant purchase events. I believe FunnelKit has something here. No, they don't. Okay, well, we're just going to do this by hand then. So let's go do it by hand. Sometimes you try to take the lazy route and it don't work. So where were we before? Let's go to standard events. Let's go to custom events. And then what I want to do is actually scroll down. And I want to look for a few things here. So check off sides, parameters. here is what we're looking at. So these are the different parameters that we'll actually need on here. Because you can see we're tracking the purchase here. So parameters are optional. JSON formatted objects that can handle a few things. So there's that information here. And we can actually start to grab this. So that's just kind of going a little bit in depth when it is talking about the purchases. But I just want to do something simple here. So we're actually just going to track this purchase. Because most of the time I only sell like one item. I do sell 3 at the end of the day, but most of the time it's only going to be 3. And so we're going to grab that code as well, and we're going to put this onto the next page. And now that we have started putting it on the next page, we can do purchase USD. And then because I know the first page is a purchase, we're going to show the purchase here. So I want to go back to the events manager. I also want to show you the way of the setup tool itself. So let's do this. And let's actually do this. Perfect. So now this is set up. So our Facebook pixel is set up here. And then what we can do is we can actually track a button. And then we could say initiate checkout. And when we are doing initiate checkout, I usually like to do the SKU in a group of products. And choose a product on the page. Don't include a product on the page. And then once we are starting to set this up, as you can see, once I'm pressing this, I don't have any information here. So this must have recently changed, because whenever I always used to put this in here, they always used to have the button actually like go initiate checkout without any information even put in. So they must have recently changed it, which is good. So I guess this way does work as well. Used to not work. Then once we press this button, we can see initiate checkout or submit application. So we'll just want to make sure this is taken care of. And then we can also track a few other things here. So let's track a new button. And then this button will be here. And then we also want to track some purchases. And then choose values on the pages. USD. Group of products. Add another. $30, $26. And then choose products. See, this is why I don't usually like doing as much. Like this. But you'd want to get these other ones as well. And then we can go check the events. And then we can look at complete order. And we can also do the track URL if we really want to. And when we are doing the track URL, of course, there's not going to be anything contains. So we're just going to do slash, which, I mean, doesn't really work. That's why most of the time I don't really do that. But then we're just going to finish the setup. And then no. So the next piece of item I actually want to do is kind of go test this out. So let's go test this out right now. On AIfunnelsmarketing.com. See, that's the only thing I don't like, how it says submit application. So we're gonna have to go change that as well. See how it says submit application here? But it does say initiate checkout here, which is fine. So we're starting to get all the information that we do want. And now we actually want to go test this item as a purchase. So I just want to save this. And we actually want to go back. And then we want to make sure, okay, this is turned off. And now since this is turned off, we want to do this. We also want to set up the API conversions for this. And we're just going to do purchase orders. Purchase orders. And we want to press create. And when we are pressing the create here, we're just going to do test purchase orders. And then we want to do order form submission. Order form submission. An end funnel and website. And then I believe it was this one, charge your weight loss. And then we can do page is. And then product is. And then submission type is also sale. That was the complete yeah, that's fine. Perfect. So now we want to save that, and that's fine here. And then we want to go to order form submission, and we want to do the same thing again. And funnel and website, charge your weight loss, page is supercharge, and then product is, so this is going to be weight loss 1, it's pills, and order form submission. And then page is supercharge your weight loss, product is, weight loss 2, weight loss pills. And then these are different variants, FYI. Submission type, sale. Perfect. So this is going to be 0.02, and this is going to be sale. And then we also want to allow reentry. And then we want to press save. And then to make sure the API conversion does work as well, what we want to actually go do is we're going to go sales test. Then we're going to go opt-in. And then we can do sale. And then after we are done doing that, because I want to go back to our purchase orders, I actually want to create an opt-in where we can just automate a follow-up of them actually putting in their information but not purchasing. So this is just going to be opt-in, and then this is going to be order form submission, and then opt-in, and then info on website, charger weight loss, and then page is supercharger weight loss, and then we also just want to do the submission type is only going to be opt-in. So now that we've done that, we want to go create an opportunity. And of course, we can name this opportunity opt-in itself. And then we want to pick whatever sales funnel it is, and then we can put their name, and then allow duplicate opportunity. As well as we can also put in here the contact name and whatever it may be, and also the attribution sources. So I usually like to click all of these as well. So this is going to be where they first came from. So always click these attribution sources. But I'm not going to go through all those here right now. And then we want to actually press save. So now that we have press save, we can do a wait and then 10 minutes. And then what I usually like to do is just a regular wait. So we're just going to do time delay, wait 10 minutes. And we'll say minutes up here. And then we can also do an if else. So we can go if workflow contact is active in any other workflow. And then we can go workflow contact is not active in where's opt-in? I guess opt-in isn't saved here yet. So it's active in any other workflow. Because we're going to actually have to create the workflow that they are active in. Unless, one second, it's active in, sale. Here we go. Active in sale. And then we can go workflow contact is not active in sale. and we want to press save. Because if they are active in the sales, we're just going to remove from current workflow. Because of course we don't want to actually like send them a message if they are still currently if they've already purchased. And the next thing we actually want to go do is we're going to put a wait on this. So, oh wait, we already have to wait 10 minutes. And then we can send them an email. And then we could be like, hey, you forgot blah, blah, blah. Don't forget to check out. Or you can even send them a text message. And then allow reentry. Boom. So this is going to be our first one as well. So you can see here, opt-in and then sale. So now under the sales here, we can create an opportunity because we want to update this opportunity. We can get sales test and then sale. And we can also put 1. And then we want to actually allow duplicate opportunities. And then the opportunity source name, of course, is just going to be their name. And kind of like we've done it already before. And then we want to say save. So we're going to go sale, sale, bam. So now after we are done doing that, we actually want to create a Facebook API conversion, finally. So with the Facebook API conversion, what we want to do is we can go to purchase. And then for the value itself, we actually want to create a custom value for that. So we're going to go actually back. Let's actually add the Facebook pixel in. So when we are adding the Facebook pixel in here, again, we're just going to grab this number here. And we are going to paste it right in here. Again, we're going to go back here. We're going to grab our API conversion. And we want to actually generate this code. And then we can press purchase, then X, and then V. And then we're just going to put a placeholder in here for now. And then we're going to go save. So now that we've put a placeholder in, we want to go to custom fields. I believe it was under the custom fields here. So 1 second. Had a long day, so just kind of going through this here because I knew you guys had custom value. Because I knew everyone wanted to get the video out. So now we're going back to our custom value. And then we can say let's actually make a custom field. Monetary. And then we're going to say purchase order. Okay. So now this is under the purchase order. So let's go back here and we'll see if this is going to go in. I haven't really done this because I usually split it up. Purchase order. Perfect. So now we have our purchase order here. So whatever this amount is going to be filtered into here. And then we're going to press save. And now again, we're going to press save. So we also want to, again, for the lead value, contact, custom fields, purchase order, and then fill in their name and all the other information we do need. And then save. And I usually like putting a tag here as well, if they are one. So we can just put a tag, and we can also say purchase. Submission type, sale. And always remember to put the sale for the submission type. Yeah, that's fine. Sale, and then I believe we have to do that last one as well. So order form submission, and then weight loss pills. And again, just to reiterate, these are 3 different variants of the pricing, so that's why I put it in here. Next time when I am making this video, I'll just making the product page pretty quickly for someone because they're wondering about how to make products. I'll be more diligent about this, so no need to worry. And then we're going to press sale. Perfect. And now what we want to go do is, we've already gotten that taken care of. We want to go grab this again, and we want to go the opt-in. So I'm going to go back here. I'm also going to add this to Facebook, the Facebook Conversions API. And we're going to say the code here, as well as I want to go grab this code again, and I want to put this in here. And I also want to make sure to put where is initiate checkout? There we go. Initiate checkout. And we're also not going to have a value in here for the initiate checkout, just because it is 3 of them. But you would also want to make sure that you have everything in here. So we're actually going to go test this out now. And then opt in. Perfect. So let's go test this out. It usually takes a couple times to get it right. So we're just going to go refresh this page now. Then I'm going to press buy now. It's going to say Ryan James at gmail.com. And then I just remembered I didn't write an email. I just remembered I didn't write an email for it, but that's fine. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 123 Street, City, Ohio, 5, country, and then we want to go to, of course, that's not going to work. So 714-321, And now we can see it does say submit application still. So we're actually going to have to go fix that. And I'll show you how to fix it as well in this video. So we're just going to keep that. We can also keep this. And we want to pick 4242424242424242. And then we can say just like 1029, and then 1, 2, 3. And then we want to complete this order. So now that we have completed the order, yeah, it's not going to say any products to fetch because it's in test mode. Now with that, we've completed the order. We can do a few things. We can go back and we can test this out here again. So we can see the initiate checkout was done. And all this information is starting to come. And then we can also go into our opt-ins. So sometimes we do have to refresh the page for this. Perfect. So now we've opted in here. So we also want to make sure that you can see here, it is waiting still till something does happen. So always make sure of this. Whenever they do purchase, you actually want to remove from another workflow, and we can remove it from the opt-in. So always make note of that. Always make note of that as well. And then let's go check and make sure that all this information was sent back to Facebook. So, because that was the whole point and the whole goal of this here. So, when we are going to make sure that it was sent to Facebook, doesn't example, excuse me. Oh yeah, because it's a practice. We'd actually have to have a real value in here. So let's go back to our first one then, because we have to have a real value at the end of the day. And then let's move this guy. Perfect. And then let's go to the execution log. Okay, here's what we're looking for. So now all this data here was sent back to Facebook. And of course, if we had a true value in there, like a purchase actually did happen, that information would also be sent back to Facebook itself. But this is what we wanted at the end of the day. And this works for when it comes to generating leads, as well as when it comes to actually being able to generate sales for businesses. So we want to go back to Facebook here, and we can also say the events worked out here. So we want to go actually test out our server now and make sure that our server is still getting the information, because the browser side is getting the information, but we want to make sure the server side is as well. So we actually want to go back here, and we actually want to add in a test. And I know this video has been a little bit long and maybe a little bit mumbly jumbly. But sometimes even the pro has to think about what they're doing. So now we can see I was removed. So now that we've stuck in our test code, again, we want to type in, we can just do jaw, then jawmorant@gmail.com. And we can go 630-909, and then we can go 123 Street, City, and country is United States. That ain't gonna work. Hopefully that works. And then make sure this email is validated. I guess that's not a real email. Perfect. And then we can see the opt-in. And we want to make sure he does come in through here. So we can see now that they've opted in, he's come through. So I'm not going to purchase on this one though, in this case, but we want to make sure that that information was sent back to Facebook. So you can see here from the server that it was. So that's good, because that's essentially what we wanted at the end of the day, was all this information being sent back to the server. And that pretty much takes care of that information. What we can go to next actually is connecting the CRM with it. So within the CRM, we want to do the same exact thing. And we're going to let this load up here. This does usually take a second. So we're going to go pick our pixel that we do have. So aifunnelsmarketing.com. We're going to continue. And then we can view the report. And of course, we can see there's no report here, as well as a funnel analysis. There's nothing here. So what we want to do is we actually want to go and connect this to Lead Connector. And then now that we've gone to Lead Connector, this is where we can open up the instructions. And when we open up the instructions, it does bring us the API Lead Connector. But that's how you start to actually integrate it within the system. So hopefully this did clear up a lot of confusion for a lot of people. I know I kind of made it mumbly jumbly, but we got it taken care of. So it's very, very good for actually using it for lead generation, because you're able to actually send the information back as much as you can. Same thing for purchase events. You just want to make sure that you do have a custom value in there at the end of the day. So remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll keep making these videos here. And then if you are not a current user of Go High Level, please use my affiliate code and you'll be able to get all the other good stuff as well. Talk to you soon.